welcome everybody to a new segment. This is something I'm starting to create called 10 Minutes With. My first guest for the inaugural and first show is my man, Speedy Brandon. Now, first, of course, Speedy is not your real name. So let's go ahead and get the introduction down right. Tell us your full name and actually how you got the nickname Speedy.
So my real name is Sergio Brandon. I actually got my nickname from old instructor. His name is Master Ace, no longer with us. The cool thing about it is, same person gave me my nickname, gave Kevin his nickname, K Swift. So Master Ace, and it stuck with us, Speedy and Swift. So yeah, now, that's who gave us those nicknames.
Now you are in Atlanta, but you're not originally from Atlanta. You got some roots in another good fighting city, and that is Detroit.
Detroit, yeah, Detroit born, Atlanta raised is how I say it. My mom was in the military, so I was a military brat. Born in Michigan, then we moved to Texas, then Alabama, then Louisiana for a hot little bit, and then our last stomping grounds was right here in Atlanta.
Now, when did you get started with martial arts? And was it in Atlanta or did it start?
No, it was actually in Louisiana. I started in Louisiana, the YMCA, when I was like 4 years old. So I started there, then moved here, started with Mr. Burgess, then transitioned to Stan Christian's student, Dan Rembert, and then now I'm on the Zach Ross.
Okay, all right. And what do you remember your interest? You were 4 at the time. Was it because did your mom put you in there? Like it was like a daycare program, or after school care program, or was it something that she thought you could utilize?
It was a part of the YMCA program, so it's kind of like an add-on, so to speak. So and then I just pretty much stuck with it. So kind of forced, and then it grew on, and then I just stuck with it, and here I am.
Now, how many years have you actively been competing?
I'm 32. I've actually been competing since I was like 14. So like 17 years.
Oh, so you got years in the game. You definitely have a good amount of time in. And so, of course, with the jokesters out there, we'll mention Johnny Tension. Everybody jokes about your height. So officially, how tall are you?
5'3". I'm officially 5'3".
See,
5'3".
And the thing, I'm not that much taller, but the only people that I ever fought shorter than me were Robbie and Keith. I'm trying to remember Keith's name. He's from Atlanta. Keith Scott. He was also another short fighter, which to me was different because I'm used to being the shorter fighter, and I always fight people that are taller than me. So it was a bit of an adjustment and sometimes throws you off. So with you, I would think that has to be an advantage because you know that 99.9% of the time you're going to be the shorter fighter, and you use that to your advantage.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm kind of the same way. I prefer to fight smaller fighters because I don't like a slow fight. I'm the type of fighter where I constantly have to be moving. My mind constantly has to be going. Because I'm more of a mental fighter than a physical fighter. I like the mental aspect of the game. So when a fighter makes his chest move, I like to make mine. Whereas I'm a lot more successful against the larger fighters because number one, they can't keep up, and I can move a lot. I can move laterally a lot more with them. I can pretty much position and do what I want. So it's easier for me to fight the taller fighters, but I really enjoy the smaller, lighter fighters because it keeps me on my toes and it keeps me on the go. And I like that mental chess match. I like that.
Now, I think the first time I actually saw you compete was at Jeff Dawson's Grand Slam. I remember the gi had Speedy down the leg and everything. And I was so much impressed. Again, with the smaller men in there, you have to take control of it. You have to have your movement down right. And you really have to be fearless. And I think that's built into you as a smaller fighter because you're fighting taller guys, you're fighting men, and men hit fast, and therefore that equals power. You have to be tough. You have to go in there and strike before being hit. And I think that philosophy is built in, like I said, to someone, the shorter fighters.
Yeah, and the Speedy down the leg, that attributes back to the Master Ace thing. That was just my recognition of him. He gave me that name, he passed along, and that was my way of carrying him along with me. So that's where that came from, the whole Speedy down the leg thing.
Are you currently on any affiliated team?
Team ATL. They were the first ones to pick me up, and a lot of teams offered me a position. it just didn't make sense to go anywhere else. You know, I'm pretty much well taken care of. That's it. I have a deep, loyal base with Marcel. Marcel's the coach of Team ATL. Love my teammates. You know, Trey, me and Trey are, you know, die hard. We've been through a lot. So, I mean, yeah, if I went somewhere else, I probably would have been, earlier. I probably would have got a lot of recognition earlier. But I just, like I said, I just couldn't do that to coach. He's always taking care of me, and he always will. And I couldn't sacrifice that for anything else.
I can understand that, and loyalty does go far. I mean, there's nothing wrong with switching teams or going where there's a better opportunity.
Not at all. Not at all.
It says a lot for being loyal, for staying with, you know, where you got your start at. That says a lot about your character, and it says a lot about the bond that you have with your teammates and also those that believed in you first. So I gotta ask, so you've been on not only around a lot of social media, but you have great tutorials and everything out there. First of all, let's talk about the logo, and let's talk about some of the things that you put out there.
So it's kind of funny. My daughter took this picture of me. So my logo is actually a picture that my daughter took. I can't remember. I was messing around one day, just doing crazy stuff, and she took it. And I actually took the I can't remember the proper name for it. The silhouette of it, and boom, that came up with Speed Kills. And every time I fight, people always say Speed Kills, Speed Kills, Speed Kills. So I took that and I ran with it, and that's where we're at today.
That's a cool story behind that and that gives you some, you know, a story, and also love to take with you when you're out there representing that brand. And also for that, what is your most proud accomplishment in the martial arts in terms of tournaments?
My first world championship. That's my proudest moment in martial arts. I was at four or five championships prior to that, and I would always get to the gold and silver round. I would always get there, and I couldn't do it. And then back to my camp. You know, Marcel threw a camp before we went to a world championship, and I mean, we fight and I'm stinking up the joint. I mean, I'm getting hit with everything, and I never forget. We took a break, and he was like, "You know what? If you want silver or bronze, I can go buy you some of that crap out at the store. You don't have to go overseas to get your butt whooped." I'll never forget. This is my coach talking to me, and I said, "Okay." And we geared back up, and I don't know what it was, but it lit into me. And ever since then, I have not lost a world championship since then. So I don't know what it was, but man, it lit a fire in me. So
a good coach can get the best out of you just by a simple phrase like that. That's a
simple phrase. I was like, and I couldn't believe, I'm like, he talking to me? I said, okay. Okay.
All it took.
I don't want no silver. He said, if you want silver, you can stay here. I said, us. I know that's right.
Let me ask you, I know a lot of times I see you post on Facebook, you watch a lot of professional fights, whether that be boxing, MMA, etc. Who would be your favorite professional fighter that you love to watch? Who would be your most favorite?
It's a combination between the two, Manny Pacquiao and Frankie Edgar. I like them both because, of course, they're short stature, but that ferociousness, as well as they both have great footwork. And if you know me, I love footwork. Manny Pacquiao and Frankie Edgar both have excellent footwork in their craft that they do.
I agree with you on that. Definitely. Frankie is one to watch. It's almost like he doesn't stop at all.
Don't stop.
The entire match, and he just continues to go. And it goes perfectly with FE being that the symbol for iron. And you know, that's exactly how Frankie fights. Every single second of that round, he's going to be fighting you. So it's definitely a person to pattern yourself after. Wonderful. Let me see. One of the things I wanted to ask you, I recently saw you had posted, you picked up an injury not too long ago. Let's talk about that.
It's minor, but I tore my adductor. It's actually the anniversary of when I first tore it. First time I tore it, right after Memphis Open. We was at a tournament in Texas. I tore it then. Continued to fight like I always do. Probably did more damage than it should have. I didn't take the proper treatments. I just let time do its thing. COVID hit, so I really just used that time to at least what I thought was healing. And went right back out there, Memphis Open again, and the exact same thing happened again. So now I'm taking the proper steps, the proper rehab, so that I got to relearn and redo everything. If I don't get it right this time, based off what they said, that could be it. So got to do what I got to do this time around.
That could be very serious. And I've actually had that injury myself, and I agree. It's something you got to tend to it. Speaking of COVID, how have you been from this past year plus with this pandemic affecting everyone?
Fortunately, man, like I said, I work at the CDC. We're in charge of the network there. So hours haven't got cut, jobs haven't got cut. You know, the CDC is working at 20%, but fortunately, I have to be there along with the other guys because we have to keep the network up. So monetarily, I haven't missed a beat. So that's a blessing in itself. I do think I got it the first go around in January when it first came out before it all blew up in the COVID. Because I was really sick and I thought it was strep throat. It was the first time I got strep throat. I don't really do hospitals, but that put me down. I told my wife, hey, come take me to the hospital. And then it happened again. I told her, hey, come take me to the hospital. They did the flu test, they did the strep throat test, and both of them were negative. Right. So I'm pretty sure at that time that's what it was. Yeah.
It is it's interesting because with it being a pandemic, it affects everyone the same. No, you could have as much money in the world as you want, and it's going to affect you the same as you don't have any money in your pocket. But I think this entire year it's changed the way we think. It's you got to get creative. You can't get a massive group of guys together and train like we used to. It's really challenged the thinking and the ways that we do things.
Yeah, it definitely. From the Zoom workouts to to the Facebook workouts, it definitely, you can tell people are itching to do that, but they still, following protocol. On top of that, guys are starting, their own businesses and stuff. So it's people didn't waste time during this time. They really put their feet to the pedal, to the metal on this one. So I'm proud of a lot of guys that didn't sit back and just wait it out.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. It's you have the time and everybody has it, and it's just how you use it. Well, Speedy, I wish you the best in your rehab, and I'm looking forward to not only seeing you back out there, but the day when we all can get back out there together. It's one thing to miss everybody out in this, worldwide martial arts community, not only for everybody from the States, but all our friends, in Europe and other places. So I'll leave you with the last word with that.
Hey, you hit it right on the head. I miss everybody. I'm sure people miss me. It's been rough, but we're on the right track. Numbers are down, people getting vaccinated, things are opening back up. So I saw Emily, we hugged it out a lot in Memphis. So, things are finally turning around, and I look forward to just, the camaraderie again. This sport, I've been doing this sport, like I said, since I was 4. This is all I know. This is all I love. So it's definitely gonna be a sight to see once everybody gets back together.
Well, there you have it. Now you know how he got the nickname Speedy. You know his real name, and that was 10 minutes with.
A quick story about that, real quick before I go. So we're at a tournament. We're at Cornell Lovelace tournament, and they're calling all the fighters. They have the name cards, and they say, they call the first one Adam Ledford, Richard Plowden, or Avery Plowden, Kevin Walker. Then they come and his face does this, and he says Sergio Brandon. I said, "Oh, that's me." He said, "Boy, you Speedy, you ain't Sergio."
And that's how you know the nickname's taken over.
That was the funniest thing ever.
Well, there you go. Speedy Brandon, everybody.